Hello guys and welcome back to the Ball. This is my round 11 tips video. This is an interesting round, second round of Sir Doug Nicholls round. Forgot to mention that last week. The Indigenous jumpers look really good and it's always cool seeing what kind of designs teams come up with. Last week 7 out of 9 tips, pretty good for how unexpected some of the results were, and 3 out of 9 Ollie's calls, a couple of close ones that I missed, but a couple of good ones as well that I got correct. So I guess we better get into the tips. First match, Sydney Western Bulldogs at Marvel, 7:30 p.m. Thursday. This should be a pretty good game. Bulldogs 5-5 last week defeated GWS by 27. Swans are 9-1 last week defeated Carlton by 52. Bulldogs are very up and down though, so they could easily lose this by a fair bit. And the Swans are going very well. It's probably the biggest shock of this year that the Swans somehow lost to Richmond. But yeah, the Swans have been absolutely amazing so far. Isaac Heaney is having the year of his life. This should be a pretty good game. I reckon Swans are definitely favourites, but don't count them out, so don't count the Bulldogs out. But I'm going to go the pretty simple tip here, and I'm going to tip Sydney by 21. With my Ollie's call that Goulden, Heaney and Warner combined for 75 plus disposals and 3 goals. Okay, next one, Collingwood, Fremantle, at Optus Stadium. Fremantle or Wally. I've got the Indigenous logos for the teams with name changes. It should be a pretty good game. Given Freo are actually favourites, which nearly surprises me, but it's at Optus and they play pretty well at Optus. Freo 6-4, Collingwood 6-1-3. Collingwood last week defeated Adelaide by 4, and Freo defeated St Kilda by 17. Yeah, this should be a pretty good game. Collingwood with 2 debutants. At the time of recording, Will Parker is set to make his debut, and Ed Allen is also set to make his debut. But I'm going to go the tip. My tip is going to be Wally Ella by 6, with my Ollie's call that the game is won in the last 10 minutes. The next match, North Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Bludston Arena, Saturday 1:45 p.m. North Melbourne Yartapulti, This should be a pretty good game. Not a very good game. What am I saying? North Melbourne 0-10, Port Adelaide 4th. I think I might be going to this game, so I'll try and film some content to hopefully post on the channel. But yeah, North Melbourne are probably going to lose by a fair bit. So I'm going to tip Port Adelaide by 55 with my Ollie's call that Port Adelaide kicks 17 plus goals. Next match, Gold Coast Carlton, 1:45 Saturday. Gold Coast 6-4 last week, lost to Sydney by 52. Defeated Geelong by 65. I'm looking at the wrong team. Carlton 6-4 lost to Sydney by 52. Gold Coast are in better form, but Carlton, they're probably more reliable. This is at Marvel, so Carlton are definitely favourites. But Gold Coast is still in with the sniff. And Gold Coast, they've had some pretty good upsets this year. And I think I might go an upset here. I'm going to tip Gold Coast by 12 with my Ollie's call that Gold Coast leader all changes. Next game is 4:35 GWS v Geelong at GMHBA Stadium. Geelong 7-3 last week. Lost to Gold Coast. Lost to Gold Coast. Yes, Gold Coast by 64. And GWS last week lost to Western Bulldogs by 27. They're 6-4. Now this is an interesting one. The Cats are favourites, but GWS, I think they've won their last couple at GMHBA Stadium, so I wouldn't count them out because they've got a pretty good record at GMHBA Stadium, given they won last year. And they've won a couple of times before, so I'm gonna probably go the upset here, and I'm gonna tip GWS by 3 with my Ollie's call that less than 170 combined points are scored. Heading this next game, Dreamtime at the G, should be a pretty big game. Result might not be close, but it definitely should be a big crowd. You'd think 80,000 plus. Richmond 1-9. Yeah, they played terribly last week, losing to Brisbane by 119. They're definitely rebuilding, and their injury woes are woeful. Sam Naismith, I think, did his 4th ACL in the VFL. Mansell and Lafau also injured. So I think there's only 3 fit Tigers players that aren't in the starting 23, Kazitsky, Caleb Smith, and I can't remember the other one. Essendon 7-1-2 last week, defeated North by 40. Expected win, but it was still a good win. I'm going to go the easy tip here. I'm going to go Essendon by 33 with my Ollie's call. Richmond score less than 60 total points. Next match, Hawthorn v Brisbane, 1:10 p.m. Marvel Stadium Sunday. Hawthorn are 3-7, lost to Port Adelaide by 1. Oh, Darcy Byrne-Jones, the hero, uploaded a short of that if you want to check that out, but that was an amazing goal. And a bit unlucky on the Hawks' ends, and they led all game. Brisbane 4-1-5 last week, defeated Richmond by 119. Training run, Kyle Lohmann with the Rising Star with 5 goals. The Hawks won this game last year, and I'm going to go Hawks in the upset here. And I'm going to tip them to win by 17 with my Ollie's call that Blake Hardwick kicks 3+ goals. Next match, Nam versus Uroki. 3:20 p.m. Sunday. Nam, also known as Melbourne, 6-4 last week, lost to West Coast by 35. Disappointing win. The one thing we learnt from that game is that Harley Reid is an absolute star and definitely is worth the number 1 pick. St Kilda, also known as Uroke, their First Nations name. 3-7 last week, lost to Fremantle by 17. Yeah, not a great performance. This should be a pretty comfortable win for Nam. I'm going to tip Nam, also known as Melbourne, by 72 with my Ollie's call that Melbourne lead all game. Final game of round 11. Kuwana, sorry for the pronunciation, versus Watlich Marawa, the First Nations names, Adelaide v West Coast. Adelaide 3-1-6 last week, lost to Collingwood by 4. Unlucky, Jordan De Guy kicking the winning goal, but Collingwood did deserve to win, probably. West Coast 3-7 last week, defeated Melbourne by 1. Yeah, it wasn't. It was defeated Melbourne by 35. Pretty good performance from West Coast. Harley Reid is an absolute star. Jake Waterman, equal first in the Coleman. Everything's clicking for the West Coast Eagles. I could actually see them winning 8 games, but I don't think they're too much chop outside of Optus Stadium, so I'm going to go the expected result here and tip Adelaide or Corona by 27, and my Oz called Jordan Dawson has 25 disposals. Thanks for watching Oz on the Ball. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.